the reason you can't have that is because apparently California is worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, you should come here, Woody, and see what your liberalness does in the long run. Come live in LA, where we have train robberies.
You have train robberies?
My friend lives in New York City, and I'm trying not to dox him, but he works in an industry that is just very liberal. Here, I'll write it to you, but I don't want to dox him.
Child trafficking.
Child trafficking. Gay sex, gay porn production.
Yeah. So he works in a really, really liberal industry, and it's made him pretty conservative. Like, he just has a hard time putting up with their bullshit every day. Almost everyone he works with is either female or gay or both. And it just, like, the way they accost him if he doesn't have his mask on right or something like that, it's too much. Meanwhile, I'm here in North Carolina being like, liberals aren't so bad, but I'm not exposed to, like, real the kind of people that he works with. Mm-hmm. I'm exposed to people like me. Yeah, I can deal with.
I mean, have we all rubbed shoulders with the far right before? Like, we've seen those guys, right? Like, it's like, yeah, man, I'm down for like most of this. Y'all got a cool place here and everything, but ooh, the flags and the uniforms. I don't know. Do I have to march? You have to call it goose stepping? Like
they need a guy to come in and soften a lot of those edges. They're like, guys, these swastikas, you lost. You're a loser. Yeah, the Confederate flags, the Nazi flag, you're fucking losers. You lost.
Kyle's right, though. The extremes of either side are hard to get along with.
They are.
I think
almost impossible to get along with.
See, that's where I disagree.
Okay.
It's easy for us to get along with the far right because that's my thing. Like, whenever I rub shoulders with those scary people who, you know, have compounds and are part of militias, it's like, man, they really seem to like me. they treat me well. The Russians. They paid me to be here. Like, you know, it's like they seem like nice people to me, but I know that it wouldn't be nice if I weren't the color I am, I guess, or didn't sound the way I do. Maybe
if you weren't an out and out gun guy who's had a tuffle or a tiff.
I only kind of agree. Government. Who's the black gun guy? Is it Colin Noir?
Colin. Yeah.
I bet he'd do great there.
Yeah, I imagine like just like being into guns and that shit would mean more, but I don't know.
Yeah, unless you've gone all the way to the segment of far right that's actual like Klansmen and like white supremacists. If you go to like neo-Nazis, like obviously they're probably not down with.
Oh, we lost your audio.
You got muted, but while Kyle fixes,
because you were getting too real.
Most of the races that I've encountered in real life have exceptions for the good ones. You know, like, that's how they would say it.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't think I've ever been adjacent to like an actual Nazi. Someone who's like, oh yeah, that's what I'm all about, bro. And it's like I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't met any before. Just like I've never met like a real like tanky Stalinist Maoist like communist.
Antifa. I hear about Antifa all the time. Like they're everywhere. I've literally never encountered an Antifa person in real life.
They don't come to Missouri.
But you don't live in a major city, right? Like if you lived in downtown Atlanta, you would see them fucking.
Raleigh, how dare you?
Come to Atlanta if you want to see some of these like ridiculous groups when they shut down whole like 4-way intersections and like burn shit in the street for the fuck of it. That's where they tried to storm Cop Town or whatever they called it, and the cops killed one of them. A few months ago. They're building some police training facility, and this huge group of I don't know what the fuck they are anymore. Like wanted to protest a police training facility. Trust me, Atlanta needs more police.
So during the Black Lives Matter protests, Raleigh had trouble, right? People came, broke too many windows, etc. But those weren't like skinny white protesters. They were legit gangsters, like people who deal drugs. There's too many murders in Raleigh, and they're typically the same like angry group of people murdering each other, trying to just keep themselves out of trouble. So
I don't know if I'm following.
Yeah. Those are the people who broke the windows. They weren't like, skinny white.
Fucking Amish.
Now, I don't see race, but these groups that are always
like Dick, where you're at, because you're in LA, are there like the Michael Brown shit, like St. Louis had a bunch of the BLM riots a few years ago, but like as far as like real deal commies, they're really out there where you are, right? Like there's real deal ones, like who are like, Stalin rules.
Of course. A lot of them are up in Portland, but the people who are, I guess the people who are too good looking for Portland and San Francisco kind of failed down to LA and just get addicted to fentanyl and prostitution down. And Skid Row has taken over all of downtown. The tent cities here. I always imagine you doing this, Taylor, having like a Richard Attenborough, like homeless, like the homeless, going through each city and documenting a whole series on documenting wild homelessness. Because of all the shows, the live shows I've done over the years, every city's homeless is like a little bit different. They all have their own little tricks. And like,
do you remember the Bum Hunter?
The Bum Hunter?
No.
You sent me his videos way a long time ago.
These guys know about the Bum Hunter, but Dick, you need to know, since you don't know this little bit of internet history. It's pre-internet. I had the VHS. I rented the shit. So this was a spin-off of Bum Fights, those VHSs you'd rent back in the day. And this guy dressed up like Steve Irwin, and he had a passing resemblance to Steve Irwin. I swear, he had the shorts, the short khakis, and he put on the Australian accent, I'm sure. He's like, all right. Here we are in the wastes of Los Angeles. And they stalk sleeping homeless people, and they pounce upon them, restrain them, and start. And I swear to God, these homeless people are screaming, "Get off of me!" And he's like, "Oh, he's a big buck here. Hey, I don't one here." I remember this. God. You'll never believe what he's doing right now. That's tape. That's obviously tape. The man's already restrained. He's about to measure the circumference of that man's skull with that white tape measure. and when he does, he tells his assistant, and the assistant notes the data. It is.
He did that today. Our homeless are like fucking militarized now. Or I don't know.
Oh yeah, you'd get killed right away doing that to a modern homeless.
If I watched it now, I'd probably think it was sad, but I was 17 when I rented that VHS tape, and I thought it was awesome.
I feel like you could pull that, and I imagine Portland
Steve
or Seattle homeless. Steve Urban was his name. That's very funny.
Yeah.
We have we just had that a bunch of freeway. I don't know if you guys have these. They shut down our major freeway downtown. The Palestinian protesters. So for me, that was like, all right, now Hamas is back on top.
Yeah,
you guys are shutting down freeways, then nuke it. Before I was like, killing too many kids, that's a big problem. But gluing yourself to a freeway, shutting down a freeway, inconveniencing everyone. No, wipe it out as punishment. We have tankies like that, commies like that, and then we always have them flying in. Like they're obviously being paid. We have that level of communist here.
Can you see yourself leaving, like getting out of LA at any point, or no?
I don't know. That stuff you guys were saying about Thailand with the hookers and the drugs, that sounded pretty good.
They got internet.
A friend of mine just moved to North Carolina, and he loves it. A huge, gigantic house, fully connected sewer line, which I don't have. So I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you get sewage anywhere. Jesus Christ, this is a low bar we're swinging at.
Well, Kyle, the realtor, it said public sewer on my MLS, but wouldn't you know, 7 years later, when I have somebody come check out my sewage, they find out that not only is there no sewer, not only is it not connected to the septic tank in front of my house that's been dry for 30 years, which was the ultimate psych out. Well, yeah, you must be connected to the sewer because the septic tank has been dry for 30 years. So obviously it's connected to the sewer.
Yeah.
Here's the report that you just paid $700 for like a private sewage inspection. Okay, you shouldn't have any problems with that, sir. Here you go. But go ahead and buy the house with no reservations. As it turned out, they just disconnected it from the septic tank for no reason and then dumped it into a giant hole, which they call a shit pit. So I literally live on a big pile.
What do you call it?
So this is in your yard?
That DWP has been charging me a monthly sewage fee for using for 8 years. So a number of
polluter.
To make me think to have this stupid idea that I was connected to the sewer line.
Man, I've never even heard of any.
What a shithole!
Heard of any shit like that? But if I were gonna, do you smoke weed though? Like if you move somewhere,
no, I only do cocaine because it calms me down.
Yeah.
I call the city and say, hey, you guys have been charging me like $40 for 8-9 years since I moved in here for a public sewer that's not connected. And not only that, no permit was ever pulled. I don't know why the fucking sewage line guy didn't notice that no permit was ever pulled, but it's irrelevant. I asked him, by the way, I said, hey, shithead. I pulled up the email of his report. Hey, shithead. Not only was the inspection bad, but there is no sewer line. And he goes, well, and there's no permit. And he goes, well, that's common up where you live. So, okay, well, is it common where you don't have a sewer line? So I said, hey, city, you've been charging me, whatever bucks a month for 8 years. So I've paid you $11,000 for, sewage that I don't have that has been for nothing. Right. And the guy goes, oh yeah. Well, here's this form you can fill out. And then in a couple months, the charge will stop. And if we determine that you're right, that you don't have a sewage line, we'll give you a credit.
A credit? Oh,
credit
for
free
what?
sewage for life.
Got a credit for $11,000. How the fuck am I going to use? Can I give that to somebody else?
Can't they apply it to your trash?
Yeah, can you hand those out?
No, it's for everybody. What the fuck am I going to do with $11,000 of free shit?
That is hilarious.
Where is your shit pit? Like, did you not notice there was a shit pit somewhere in your house?
Woody,
in your yard?
No, I didn't notice that there's
Is
a
it in your living room? Where is your shit pit?
I don't know where it is. I hope it's under somebody else's house.
Do you not know where the doo-doo goes when you flush the toilet? Do you genuinely? Is it like in those old castles where they've just got a hole in the side of the house and it just dumps?
It's going into some underground labyrinth somewhere. I don't know where it's going. It's going on some fucking vampire. I don't know where it's going.
Does it back up into the house? Do you have issues?
No, I've never had it.
It's a big pit.
Who cares?
Why did you look into this?
Because he spent $11,000 on a service he's not paying.
Because my fucking sink was overflowing.
To like.
Sorry, go ahead. What'd you say, Woody?
I think you were about to answer. Something inspired you to check out what's happening with your drainage, your sewage.
My stupid cleaning lady blended an avocado in the garbage disposal.
Okay,
the whole thing?
Stupid.
Yeah, the whole thing.
What a dumb bitch.
It's like, oh, your sink is clogged. And I look and I dip my hand in and it's like fucking full on the avocado seeds coming out. It's got my shit pit. Oh, man.
I was in front yard.
That's probably not America.
I got a guy to come out and like, can you fix the fucking avocado that fucking idiot just tried to blend in the garbage disposal? And he starts snaking it down. He's like, yo, man, your plumbing's fucked. And actually it's not even connected to the sewer. I'm like, well, of course it's not. Why would it be?
So what'd he do? Just snake it down until he ran out of snake and was like, it's still going, boss.
He brought a bigger snake.
There's a labyrinth of poo.
He brought it back and it was melted off at the end. He's like, I don't know where it goes.
And it was raining, so it was all over. So it was like at the limit, like the shit pit or what. It was like at the top. I'm like, man, I don't want to live over this. That's
how far away is it? Did he tell you? Like, what's the actual distance between you and this feces pile you've been accumulating?
Like 40 feet.
Oh my god! So you're like in sinkhole danger territory, right? Like this could just
consider that.
I don't know because it's that way. It's like I'm sitting on the lowest part of my house in the studio laundry room. So
it'll be first to be sucked in.
Yeah, it's the first to be sucked in. It's that way.
Please do it live.
I don't know if it's like
snake sucked into the ground.
Under the fucking neighbor's house, actually, because the way he was doing it, it hooked to the right and went that way for 20 feet. That's not my house anymore. So
what if you're low key connected to your neighbor's sewage and everything's fine? You could just stop paying and mooch off him.
Trailer Park Boys style.
Fine. That'd be good, dude. You gotta move to one of the good states.
You beat the system.
I don't know what the top ranked states are, but there's.
What is your top ranked state, Taylor?
Missouri. Well,
honestly, this is just a green.
Honestly, it would be okay. Fine, we'll be real. It's Florida. It's Florida. Okay, they have beaches and it's nice.
Florida is so bad. Let me speak up for Florida. First of all, Florida has medical marijuana for now. So, second of all, Florida doesn't have state income tax.
Mm-hmm.
Third of all, you get like the full gradient of real estate value because you can go to the coast and it's like, oh my goodness. But every step you take inland, you'll eventually get to your bracket, right? Whether you want to spend 10 million on your house or 100,000 on your house, you just keep going inland. Your neighbors go downhill, but so does the
property. Yeah.
You live like outside of Orlando for cheap.
Dude, outside Orlando, I really dislike it there. Like, strongly. You need to spend. So there's Eric Farewell. You guys know him. He's been on the show. He was a paintball events. Yeah. Well, he owns maybe the biggest, most successful paramotor school on the planet. I think. I don't think it's off target to say that. And it's in Central Florida. So I've been there a lot. And while his school is a first class organization, the area is not my cup of tea. It is just redneck. That I don't know. Inedible alligator meat is sold there. It's
Florida's great. Like if I were going to live in Florida, it would be close enough I could drive to the beach just on a whim, easy peasy. Like if I'm going to live in Central Florida, I'll just live in Missouri. We have better laws than them anyway, other than the state income tax.
What is it? The St. Johns River. Where there's a place that it goes through. I like it down there. There's a lot of places
somewhere in Florida. I wonder where Florida gets its money from. I know a lot comes from tolls and tourists, so that helps them keep their taxes low. But like lately, I've been hearing that Texas has one of the higher tax rates and has no income tax. So what are they taxing exactly?
Maybe their sales tax is higher. I don't know.
I don't know
how that works.
Me too.
I'm being honest.
They must get their money somewhere. I mean, they have.
I think there's a lot of industry there. I mean, I know there's a lot of big firearm stuff there. There's a lot of big firearm stuff there. Knights Armament is there. They do huge government contracts as well as, civilian stuff. It's a massive company.
What's your top ranked state then, Dick? Your top number one?
Shit, I don't know. Every time I hate California enough to think about leaving, like I go to another state and everyone's so fucking fat there. I could never. Fat and hot. I just think, the taxes are worth it. Fuck it. Who cares?
Colorado, then. It's not hot. And they're like the least fat of all of us.
Are they?
Yeah, they're the least fat. They're like the only one who's not like dramatically overweight at this point.